Hey everyone, Meidan here. After my last video, I got a ton of questions from you guys. So I decided to make this follow-up and dive a little deeper. In this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how the system is built. So this is our automation system and we host it at make.com. And you can see these circles and each circle called a module. And these modules are actually integrations into different data sources. So as soon as the first module is triggered, it creates a chain reaction that triggers the next module and the next module in a very specific logic. But before we dive deeper, let's take a step back into our Google Sheet. This is our Google Sheet, and the Google Sheet is basically a set of instructions and data that we're going to use for our automation system. So we have different columns and we have different rows, and each row is a potential post, and the columns are very important. So we have the ID, the status, which can be many things, but most important is ready for AI or ready for video. These two are the most important because these are the two that triggers the automation. We have the platform, whether it's Instagram or LinkedIn or Facebook or whatever. We have the post goal, we have the post topic. In my post topic, I actually use the products. So if I sell jewelry, so each topic will be a different product. Diamond rings, engagement ring, etc. And the key message is set automatically. For example, if I change the topic from eternity ring to engagement ring, the key message will change as well. So you see, it's changing according to the product I'm choosing, and the way I'm achieving it is via different tables. So I have this like extra table here, and I added those matching, but you don't have to do it the way I did it. To each his own. So we have all this data. We have the tone of voice, which is very important. We have the call to action, which we can also change. We have the keywords and the emojis, the number of hashtags, additional notes, anything specific that I want to add. The AI generated post, like this is where the final caption will be written right here. So as you can see, it's empty right now because we haven't ran the automation yet. And we have the image description, which is empty, and the generated image URL, which is empty. The approval status, the video prompt, empty as well. We have a bunch of empty cells, as you can see. The publish date, and this one is very important. Use real photo, and I can choose yes or no. This will completely affect the flow, and I will talk about it soon. So we have all this data here, and this data is extremely important. Each cell is very important. So we said that the first column is actually the one that will trigger the automation. So what trigger my automation is ready for AI status or ready for video. So for now, let's just set it on ready for video. Let's go back to my automation. So this is my Google Sheet module, okay? It's called Search Rows. It's the first module I'm using, and this is my trigger to trigger the entire chain. So this Google Sheet is actually looking at my sheet, and it's looking for those filters. So in my case, the filter is the status, which is B column, and the text operator is equal to ready for AI, or the status, which is B column, and the text operator is equal to ready for video, meaning one of those two is the trigger for my automation. So it's B column, I can look at it again, B column, and it has to be ready for video or ready for AI. And yes, it's case sensitive. Okay, so as soon as one of those happens or occur, the automation is triggered and the process is starting. So this module is limited to only one result right now. That means that it will only search for one match, meaning one row. So even if I have two rows like that, it will only catch the first one. But you can change that to as many as you want. For our test purposes, one row is okay. Okay, so the next module is create a completion with ChatGPT. So this is a persona-based prompt for creating the caption, the post caption. So I used this specific model, but you can choose whatever model you want. And here I'm telling him or it that it's a user, and I'm defining who it is. I'm telling the AI who it is it writing for, and how. I give it a full persona. So for example, you are a senior luxury copywriter and fine jewelry brand strategist working for Meshberg. And we dive deeper and deeper, and we tell him what data he should take into account. So these are actually columns from my Google Sheet. So that's the platform column where you can see whether it's for Instagram or like different other platform, the target audience, the post topic, which is the actual product, etc. So I feed it with all of this data, and I even give it a specific output instructions. Only generate the final post caption, because it's a post caption. No labels, no headers, no explanations. You have to be really accurate and specific. At the end, I even tell it what to avoid. So for example, avoid overused superlatives or empty phrases like perfect gift, best in the world, world class. Because at first I ran some tests and I didn't like the results, so I started adding those extra guidance until I got exactly what I wanted. So it takes some trial and error until you get the best result, but that's how you do it. So once we have the caption, and now the caption of the post is ready and very accurate, the next stage is the router. So the output goes to the router, and this router basically is routing the output via filters. So I added two filters, one here and one here. So the first filter is not using real photo, meaning column X is equal to no. Now what is column X? This column that asks use real photo. So I can mark it as no or yes. So in my case it's no. So that means that the router will route the output via this path, right? Assuming it was yes, the output would be routed via this path. So we would like to generate our own photo or image. So we're not using real photo. The output will be routed via this path. The next module is another create completion. But why? We already have a create completion here. Well, that's true, but this create completion created the caption of the post. This create completion will create the description of the image, okay, which we are going to feed into DALL-E 3. So if I click on it, I can see here that again I'm using this specific model, and I gave it a very specific instructions. So you are a luxury brand visual stylist creating high-end imagery for Meshberg, blah 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 blah. And eventually I'm telling him to take into account those three columns: post topic, post goal, and tone of voice. And I got them directly from my Google Sheet. So if I click here, I can actually see my Google Sheet and all the columns, and I can tell him what columns to take into account when you create the image description. So I fed it with everything I need, including the post topic, which is the actually product in my case. And I gave it a bunch of instructions. And again, it's a lot of trial and error until you get the right results. And then I'm taking this image description and I'm feeding it into DALL-E 3, create an image. So that's our next module. And our next module, I'm choosing DALL-E 3 as a model. I can choose any other model, okay? And the prompt is the results of 112 module. 112 module is actually this module, as you can see, 112. So I click here, and this is 112 module, and this is all the output I get from it. Now what I want to feed my current module is the results, which is an image description, and you can see it right here. A refined diamond tennis necklace, graceful, and there is more to it. So anyway, that's what I want as a prompt, and I feed it in, and I choose the image resolution and the quality and the style, which is natural or vivid. Let's go natural. You can also do vivid, it works fine. And I save it. Then the output goes to another router. Now this router filter via two filters: video post or image post. What kind of post do I want to create? A video or an image one? So if I click on the filter, I can see that I'm checking for the status and the text operator equal to ready for video. So if you go back to the Google Sheet, so my status is ready for video. That means that this specific row will be translated into a video post. Okay, if it was ready for AI, the result would be an image post. But we want a video post, so we're going to leave it as video post. And this output gets to this router. The status of column B is equal to ready for video. And because of that, it will be routed via this path. And again, we are getting to another create completion module. The third one. This specific create completion module is actually creating the description of the video. Okay, this is the third one we have. So the first one created the post, the caption. The second one created the description of the image. And the third one is creating the description of the video, which we are going to feed Runway AI later. So let's look at it. So I'm using the same model, GPT 4.1 system, and I gave it a very specific instructions. You are creating a cinematic video prompt for luxury jewelry or watch product. And I gave it all this data, and I told him to take into account the post topic, which is column F, the post goal, which is column D, and the tone of voice. Okay, extremely important. And I gave it a bunch of instructions to make it perfect. Then I take the output from this module and I feed it into Runway. Runway is another video solution, AI video solution, and this is where we actually generate the video. So if we click on Runway module, so first of all, I feed it with a file. And what is the file? The file is coming from this specific module, which is, let me show you, module 32. Okay, and module 32, it's this one. It's the one that generates the image. So I'm taking the image from here and I feed it into Runway as an image. Then I'm taking the prompt, the video prompt from 111, which is this module, and I feed it as well into Runway. So now Runway has both the image that we generated and the video description that we generated, and both are in here. And I can choose the duration of the video, and this is just a test, so we're gonna leave it for 5 seconds because every second costs money. So 5 seconds for a test is absolutely fine. And we can choose the model and the ratio and the resolution from here, you can see. And that's about it, and we're gonna save it. Great, so now we have the video at this stage. The next stage is I'm uploading this video into Cloudinary. So I'm uploading the video into Cloudinary, and why is that? Because on Cloudinary, I want to process that video some more, and I want to add, for example, a watermark or some music to my video or anything like that, and I can do that on Cloudinary. So I have my account on Cloudinary, and I created a preset on Cloudinary. I created my preset, and that preset basically applies my watermark on each and every video that uploads to Cloudinary. So if I'm looking at Cloudinary, this is my Cloudinary account, and here I can see all of my assets and all of my video and music, and everything is in here. My overlays and everything is in here. And basically I have this thing called a preset. So I have a bunch of presets for different conditions. This specific preset is applied to every video. And here I can see the preset configuration. This is an image ID that I uploaded to Cloudinary before. So I'm telling him, apply this specific image on each and every video that I'm uploading. So that's my preset, okay? You need to create it. How do I know the ID of an image? In this specific test, I used this one. So if I click it, I can see the ID, and that's the ID I'm applying. Or the other one, or this one. Same thing, different resolution. So that preset will be applied to each and every video that I'm uploading. Let's go back to the automation, and that's what the Cloudinary module do. Then we have 3 set multiple variables. So the first one is set multiple variable, and then we have 2 more solo set variables. So the first one has 2 variables. So we have the first variable that is audio RI, and basically this is a list of songs that I pre-uploaded to Cloudinary as well. We have a bunch of songs, and these are the songs IDs, okay? And I just show you how to get the IDs. These are the song IDs that we separate. So that first variable called audio RI, it's a list, or an array. And the second one is random index. Basically I have 11 songs, and I want a random song to be matched to every video. So I'm picking a random index out of 11, okay? So we have these 2 modules, these 2 variables, the audio RI and the random index. And then we proceed to the next module, which is a set variable. And this one called random audio ID. And basically we're using this function with the 2 previous variable, and basically we're using it to extract a random song, right, out of the 11 songs that we have. And we name this variable random audio ID. Okay, and then we proceed to the last variable, and the last variable is actually a link. So it's the final link with our video, with our music, and with the overlay ready for us to download. So we call it final video with music URL. And this is the actual link. And in the link, we're adding this little function here. And basically, we're using the random audio and the video that we just generated in that link. And I will use that link later in many other modules that you will see. Then I'm using this get HTTP to download that specific link that we just created, the final video with music URL. And this is not a must for you, but I'm using this for other purposes. I'm uploading the final video to Dropbox, and here I'm creating a share link from Dropbox. It's not a must, it's only if you need it. Next module is update a row. So again, we're going back to our Google Sheet, okay, which is our database, our data source. And here we mark the specific sheet that we are working on. And at row number, I just picked the row number, which is the relevant row number, the one that we parsed initially, which you can find always here. Okay, so like in our case, the row number right now is 3, and it's true because if you look at the row, it's actually row number 3. That's the row that we're looking at, so it's good. And basically here we want to update the sheet. So what do we want to update? First of all, the status. Since we are generating a post from that specific row, I want the status to be changed to AI generated video post. Meaning I want the status, like once the automation is running, I want the status to change to AI generated post or AI generated video post in our case, right? Because we're making a video post. So what else do we want to change and update? The result, the actual caption that we generated in the first module, we want it to be written to the Google Sheet as well. Where? At column N. What is column N? The AI generated post. So the actual caption will be written here or here. So I want to update that. And what else? I want to update the generated video URL. I want the actual URL where I can download the final video. It's column S. Okay, so if I'm looking at here, column S is generated video URL, which is empty right now, nothing. And finally, I want to update the time and date at column W. Okay, so right now it's full, but it's not relevant. So this will be ran over. Okay. So once we updated that part, this is not a must. This is just for me, but I like to clear some cells. So if you want to clear a cell, which I do, you use this module as well. And basically, I'm clearing cell P. Meaning, if I'm creating a video post and I'm adding a video URL, I would like to delete the old or previous URL or post URL that was at the same row. But that's not a must. That's just how I work. Finally, I'm sending the final product or post to my Telegram bot. So this Telegram bot module is actually connected to my group chat ID. And inside of that chat, I have a bot that I created. And anything that that bot sees or say will be routed to this module. So this module is listening to that bot all the time. And in this Telegram bot, I want to have the caption of the post, which is the results of module 33. If you remember, it's one of our first modules, the one that wrote the caption. So, I want that caption. And I want to get the file, which is the actually file, the video that we created with the watermark and the music and everything. And all of the data should be sent to my Telegram. So now that we know how it works, let's see it in action. We're gonna run that automation. And since we're generating a video and we're not using a real photo, we know that the flow should be going from that Google Sheet to the router, to the second router, and then it should go up, and then it should go to Runway to generate the video, and then to Cloudinary, and all the way to my Telegram, and eventually it should also update the Google Sheet. Now let's see how it works. I'm gonna run it once. So it started and it's running fast. It's generating the image already, and now we're generating the video through Runway. Okay, good. Going to Dropbox, and eventually it should get to Telegram, and we got a message. Let's see what we have. So that's the actual post that we got. And if I click on that, first of all, look at the caption. The caption is actually really nice. It uses all the relevant data, all the instructions that we gave it. It's super nice, it's original, and it doesn't seem like it's been AI generated. It's very much human. We have the website link. We have the hashtags 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we actually have the post. If we click on the post, that's amazing because the music is perfect. This is an eternity ring, just like I asked it to make. It's a beautiful eternity ring. It looks very much real. And we can see that the watermark is there, the Meshberg and the meshbergwatches.com. It's all there, and it just looks great. It's a good test. I like it. And it's just great. It's just beautiful. Think how much time this automation can save you. Now in my case, as you can see, I have other flows. So for example, we just tried the first flow, which is creating a video post using an image that we generated via AI. The second flow will create an image post, not a video, an image post using an image that is generated via AI. The third flow will create a video post again, but this time it will use an actual photo that I will feed in, a real photo, not an image generated via AI. And the last one is again a post, an image post, but again the image is not generated via AI. Instead, we take the photo ourselves and we feed it into the system. So we have those 4 flows here, and it just works beautifully. Now, once that thing ran, if we look at the Google Sheet, we can see, first of all, the status has changed to AI generated video post, which is great. We can see that the AI generated post is here. That's our post. It's not published to the social media yet. So I can read it and my marketing team can look at it and test it. And we can see the generated video URL so that we can actually watch the content and see if we like it. We can see the date and time. We can see that we're not using real photo, which is great. And if we like it, and if the marketing team approve that post, all they gotta do is come here and change the approval status to approved. The moment they do that, another flow will run and publish this specific post in the relevant social media. So that's my second scenario, and it triggered by the Google Sheet again. This time I'm looking for different stuff to trigger the automation. What am I looking? I'm looking for the approved value under approval status. That's what I'm looking. And I'm also looking for a timestamp that is older than right now. If both conditions occur, the second automation will start running and I will publish that specific post in my social media. So once we have a hit or a match, I'm going to download the actual content that we just created. Where am I going to download it from? So as you know, we just created this generated video URL, and this is where I'm going to get the video from. Okay. And then the output will go to the router. Now, how will the router tell where it should send the output? So in each and every link, we have a filter. Okay. Now in our case, we just created a video content for Instagram. So if I look at the Instagram filter, I can see that that filter has two conditions. First of all, the platform has to be equal to Instagram. Perfect. One condition catched. And the status has to be equal to AI generated video post. Why do I want it to be AI generated video post? Because we have an image post for Instagram or a video post for Instagram. And in this case, it's a video post. So I want to catch that term as well. Once both conditions occur, the output will be sent to Instagram, and Instagram will actually post it. So it takes the caption that we just saved in N column, right? And it takes the actual video that we just created, and we saved it at S column. So it takes these two and it published the post. So if I click here, run once, it actually published the post and update my Google Sheet with a new date and the publish status. That's it. Post is published on my Instagram profile, and the data is updated in my Google Sheet. What did I just update? Just updated the time, and the approval status is now published. So if I'm looking at it, let's look at the approval status. It's published now automatically, and the time of publication is updated, the time and date. That's about it. Let me know if you have any questions, and yeah, try some automation. It's really cool.